Hey guys, and welcome back to BeardYGO. So today we are going to be covering our Earth Machine build that has now just been changed a little bit, like super little bit, for Darkwing Blast. So I see a lot of you have asked me about the updated deck list and everything post Darkwing Blast, and so here we've got it. So essentially we are just adding in the new duck Vernusylph, and yeah, so if you can actually have a look here, like in the background here, we've got a couple of matches that I had with a friend of mine. He was utilizing various different decks, and as you can see, the first one we've got is the mirror match, and you can see his deck is quite big. He's been testing out a 60 card variant, which is actually really good. Quite decent, to be honest. I would say the only thing that is lacking on his end is the consistency. You know, running a 60 card deck is a little bit difficult, especially I would say for this deck. Yeah, it pops off when it does. It really does, but sometimes you just, you know, you're losing that consistency of pushing for a 60 card deck, especially since Earth Machine's not considered like the most consistent deck really. So yeah, there's a couple of things that that you can do with that variant. However, I'm still sticking with my personalized variant, utilizing quite a bunch of the Vernusylphs. So yeah, with the new Vernusylph edition, it just allows us to extend our plays even more. It's essentially allowing us to have 6 copies of the Flourishing Hills, and you guys will see that I will definitely be uploading a newer variant after Magnificent Mavens, where we can actually use some of the Ishizu cards as well. So in this variant, I'm not running the Basils, I'm not running the Kastera, Fenrir, for example. The main reason why I don't want to actually run those at the moment is, you know, with the Basils, you don't really care about that. You know, we've got a pretty decent matchup against Tier Elements, so that's not too bad. Sprite was a bit of a problem, but the whole point of my version of Earth Machines is to attempt to go for like an FTK, or, you know, have that consistency of being able to push for a lot of damage, especially when you're going into time. And the side deck is where we counteract certain matches. Every other deck that we face is essentially, you know, free wins basically. So Sprite and Elements are like the only decks that we actually really have to worry about, and that's where the side deck comes in. So, you know, you're running your Floodgates and, you know, Dark Rulers and all that type of stuff. So yeah, as you can see, we are having this little mirror match. I've got I think 4 different decks that I'm playing against in the background here, which is the Earth Machines, Gene Raiders with the new support, the Rescue Ace archetype, which will be coming out, as well as Lair of Darkness with a new Lady of the Labyrinth. And I must say, obviously the mirror match and the Lair of Darkness matches that I had against him was probably the most difficult ones. The Gene Raiders and the Rescue Ace were essentially buys. So yeah, we don't have to worry about any other decks really. I actually took my deck to a tournament this past weekend, the only weekend that I could actually get off to go and play. And yeah, so then I just took the new version with a new duck Vernusylph, and when we had 4 rounds, I lost all my die rolls, and the only loss I took was against Tier Elements in round 4. So yeah, it wasn't too bad. The decks I faced was Dinomorphia. That was a very interesting matchup. However, when we got to game 3 and closer to time, he scooped because he can't do anything without paying life points. And yeah, I had decent advantage going into the next turn, so it wouldn't have really mattered. Besides, you don't want to pay life points when you're playing against Earth Machines, because that just makes our job easier, so we can actually, you know, just OTK you easier, which is just great. And for the way that I've constructed my version is that I don't even have to attack you anymore. You know, you Solemn Judgment me, okay, cool, I'm gonna burn you for 4,000. So yeah, really cool. As you can see, we've got the Gene Raiders here, we've got a Mekk-Knight there, which doesn't matter. He scooped there, as you saw. I was getting too much advantage with a heavy forward as well. So yeah, moving on to the next one, we've got, it's funny how people make Apollosa when you got the Imperm, you know, it just works out that way, which is very nice. Sometimes it happens to you as well if you're playing other decks and stuff, and they just have that out. But yeah, as you can see in this one, that we actually get through the Apollos, we get through the Har, so, and I think through the Ash Blossom as well. And yeah, that's basically all we needed to do. Ending on the Citadel is just really insane. So one thing that did happen here is, like, as you can see, there's 5 tokens to summon, so he's completely out of resources. I was thinking about going for like a Zeus or something there, and I was like, nah, I can actually OTK here quite nicely. So you'll see a very nice OTK for exact damage. So I crash my Ballista so I can bring Citadel back, and out comes the Regulus for last bit of damage. Then Rescue Ace we've got here now is a very cool archetype that's going to be coming out in Amazing Defenders in January. Really cool boss monster, sets 4 traps, up to 4 traps, direct spells and traps directly from the deck, which is really insane. The deck is okay. I would really like to play it. It's very interesting how it plays, but it's definitely gonna need some more support to be able to properly compete. But yeah, so we had quite a lot of fun playing these. You'll probably see in some duels where we were siding, where you'll see like Red Reboot. I draw into Red Reboot. Yes, I know it's banned, but yeah, we were playing this before the ban list actually took place. So yeah, I wanted to showcase to you just a couple of things that the Earth Machines do and how they fare against other things. So here he shifters me, so I just basically set and pass, because I know that the Rescue Ace aren't really gonna do much getting over 2000 body, and yeah, it was just worth me being able to just chill, don't play into the shifter. Shifter is the worst hand trap for Earth Machines, so you know, you'd prefer to not play under it. So if you can afford to you know, just give it a rest for that turn and then continue to play the next turn, then great. Otherwise, just scoop it up and go to game 2, I guess, you know. So yeah, here we go. Finally we get out to Regulus and we push for game over there. Right, the next one is Lair of Darkness. So in this first duel, I I made quite a big mistake. So luckily my friend didn't pick up on exactly what happened. So I did scoop there, and the reason I scooped was because Lair of Darkness makes my monsters dark on field, and the Vernusylphs restrict me in only using Earth monsters effects during the turn that I use any of their effects. So I couldn't summon my Citadel off of the Anchor Drill. So yeah, then I just scooped because I completely forgot that my monsters were dark. He didn't pick up on that restriction in combination with the Vernusylph restriction in combination with the Lair of Darkness. So I was able to go into game 2 and 3 with, you know, a little bit more knowledge, so I could play a little bit more technically. And yeah, so obviously you can see he's got the Mystic Mine over here, but he's not gonna, as you can see, he's getting rid of the Mystic Mine here. That's what a lot of players tend to do, is they'll activate Mystic Mine till they got enough resources to play the game and hopefully out-resource you or beat you outright. They, as you can see, is the red reboot. Don't worry, I didn't use it. So the whole point of Mystic Mine against Earth Machines is just let the Earth Machine player deck himself out. Just go for that scummy play, just deck us out. Because if you are going to release that mine, you are not going to beat the Earth Machine player. The whole thing about Earth Machines is we've got so much recurability, so much extendability, that we can essentially just put up a big wall, or we can actually just stop your plays and then completely break you and OTK from there. So last duel over here, yeah, red reboot again in my hand, but I think I discarded it, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there we go, with redeployment. So yeah, very, very interesting. I would like to hear from you guys what you guys think of Earth Machines at the moment with the Vernusylphs. Yes, I've actually got a list here for you guys, which I will show shortly. But there is another thing here, which I obviously just have to show it to you guys. So that is the FTK. So if I can play this for you. Right, so we've essentially got a 3-card hand because we got the 2 imperms that we drew, which is okay. It's always nice to see that, especially if you are going second or something like that. But yeah, so we're just going into the Riverstormer. We use the first Vernusylph to bring out Goldilocks, and Goldilocks is amazing. So we're setting the schedule, use Goldilocks, moving it to this zone, and then we'll pop our schedule, getting our search for our bullet train, which gets us into our first 2000 burn. Now, you guys might think like, oh yeah, it's all good and well that you can FTK someone potentially, but I've done this in a tournament before we even got the duck. The duck just makes it a little bit easier now. So yeah, you know, you can play the deck however you want. I just want to have a bit of fun with it. I mean, the deck itself is already dangerous, so if you are in a tournament and you know you're facing a strong player, obviously you're not going to go for an FTK unless you know he's playing something like tier or whatever. Like let's say they play tier, you know, most of the time they're most likely not going to have hand traps. So yeah, there you could see the FTK completed. So yeah, you can try it in tournaments, but I would recommend rather going for like a double Dora setup. mainly just because that's not Earth Machines. That's another deck that I'm busy working on. Feel free to take a snapshot. Yeah, really stupid deck. But yeah, we've got it. So this is the Earth Machine deck list that I'm currently using. So the only change that we actually made was putting in 3 of the duck, and then taking out 1 each of the rabbit, the bear, and the fairy. So previously we would run 3 of the fairy, 2 of the bear, and 2 of the rabbit. But now we've made space by just taking 1 of each out to improve our consistency. So yeah, really cool. The nice thing about the duck as well, like I said, with Mavens coming out, that we'll be able to also include some of the Ishizu cards into our deck as well, you know, just to have a little bit of grave disruption. And the nice thing is that those are searchable because of the duck. So the duck will search any Earth Fairy, so you can either search for your Ishizu cards, or you could search for any of your Vernusylphs. And the Flourishing Hills, this one over here, is just basically another way to get into this, to get into your Ishizu stuff. So yeah, I'm still running the Ossa. The Ossa is mainly just there to increase consistency in terms of getting Harvester, but it's also another way to get Goldilocks, which is sometimes very important. This card is really insane. It's not hard once per turn, so you can bring it out, attempt to wipe a board, and then if they negate it, it's fine. Just link it off, reborn it with a Vernusylph, and do it again. I was able to do that against Eldritch, if I'm not mistaken. They had there can be only 1 on board, and so I brought this out because I was like, well, I don't feel like playing under that floodgate. And then I used the effect, they changed strike, they destroyed this, I brought this back, I used the effect again, got rid of everything that I needed to, and then I proceeded to OTK. So yeah, very interesting card. I really recommend you guys testing this out. It's a really cool little addition to the deck. But yeah, however you want to play the deck, go for it as long as you feel comfortable. For me, it doesn't really matter how I build my deck. I'm pretty fluent in Earth Machine, if you want to put it that way. So I can always tweak it out, and however I want to play it on the day, that's how I'll play it. So I can change it back into Dozer Control, run less Vernusylphs, play the gear frame version. The gear frame version, by the way, is very easy in terms of getting the FTK off. So yeah, I'll just try playing 2 Gustav Max. If you really want to be sus, then play 3 Gustav Max, mainly because then you don't have to draw into like another Vernusylph or a heavy forward in order to complete the FTK. So having 3 Gustav Max in extra deck, then pretty much all of your hands, including the duck or the Flourishing Hills, would be an FTK hand, just to let you know. So it's really cool. And yeah, that is it, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and you know, enjoyed me just talking to you guys, and I don't know, just sharing a little bit of my points, and you know, how I fare with the deck and all that type of stuff. I really enjoy chatting to you about it. This is definitely my go-to deck at the moment, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.